welcome back to the Realness, y'all. This week, we got a good one. What we talking about, man?
Well, I just came back from vacation, and I missed my shoddy shods, so we got into a real deep convo. No, I'm just kidding. We're talking DMX and the life, the passing, the fame, the music, all of that. So we're going to get into it.
Stay tuned, y'all.
I'm for real. I'm for real.
Realer than real.
You're now tuned into the Realness Radio Podcast.
I got you stuck off the realness.
The Realness.
Y'all feel me?
Y'all feel. Y'all definitely feel.
He's, style, but it had some character to it, which I liked. I don't really mind because I'm not in the room a lot, when I'm out on vacation. But it was cool to have like a little condo style place, but it was all secluded, and it had its own like little private beach. So we just got to go up to the beach, and whoever had rooms at that place were the only people allowed on that beach. So it was dope. We didn't have no problems or anything. They had a dope ass courtyard. Did you see that koi fish? Did you see that koi pond that I had?
I did see that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did.
Yeah. It was dope as fuck. That went around this whole courtyard area with these like big wooden steps and stuff. Amazing shit. But yeah, I had a great time. I did not want to come back.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah, but something really weird kind of happened over there, and I kind of wanted
on your trip.
Yeah, I kind of want to go into that. But it was like, okay, so about 10, 12 years ago, I want to say. I was in California. I can't remember exactly where it was. Maybe it was like Palm Springs or maybe like San Jose or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I was out partying. We went out to eat, went out partying and stuff, and I came back to the room, and I just had the TV on. The news was playing. Just kind of falling asleep to the news and shit, and it was the night or that day, or it had just happened, but it was the movie theater shootings in Aurora.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of weird when you're out of your I guess your comfort zone where you're from. I was in a different place, and like this kind of national thing happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was like, whoa, that's a trip. But fast forward a couple years after that, me and the lady were in Costa Rica. We took like a 12-day trip to Costa Rica, and it was and we were probably at the end of the trip. Woke up one morning. I think we were getting ready to leave to like head back to the airport, I believe. Mm-hmm. And we flicked on the news while we were getting ready, and that day Sandy Hook had happened. Mm-hmm. So another shooting had happened. You know what I'm saying? And it's just kind of odd that like not on every trip I've been on, but like on quite a few of them, some crazy national news has gone down. So That being said, like driving up to San Diego, I didn't say it out loud. I was just kind of thinking it in my head. Like, I wonder if like some crazy shit's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like while I'm here, you know what I'm saying?
Way to jinx us, man.
Yeah. And little did we know, the next day we woke up ready to go out to the beach, and we find out that our beloved Darkman X passed away. So I was like, man, fuck, R.I.P., R.I.P. DMX.
Yeah.
But it was kind of a trip that had happened again, so I thought that was kind of crazy.
I thought you were going in a totally different direction.
Yeah.
With this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Because you were talking about shootings and all those things, and you realize that's just recently happened, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like you realize that just happened,
no, yeah,
right?
those things happened as well.
Okay.
That was
like,
kind of,
that's a really dark story to say DMX.
I know, but like that's that one that stood out to me. You know what I'm saying? The DMX, because like.
Well, I was gonna talk about today we're gonna go over the life and know and good stories about that man X and all that good stuff. I didn't think Tony was gonna bring up death in the beginning.
Yeah.
Other people's tragedies and shootings. So here we go.
Yeah.
DMX. Yeah. So while you were gone and everybody's quite aware in the world, We lost DMX.
We did, and I just been bumping that shit, dude.
I mean, it's been on a steady bump. Doing the DMX versus Snoop Dogg, and I mean, going over the internet and seeing all the pictures. I mean, and the love. I mean, who didn't love DMX?
Right?
I mean, who didn't love DMX? I mean, he was a beloved person, regardless of any type of trials and tribulations the man could have been through.
Right.
He had an incredible career, an incredible body of work. And it was so interesting that he was bringing his life kind of back around. You know, he was coming back into the forefront. He was doing stuff. You know, he had the verses.
I think he had just dropped an album pretty recently.
Correct.
Yeah. Or he just finished it. He just finished it up, was getting ready to push it, yeah.
And we lost him.
And we lost him, man.
And we lost him that quick. You know what I mean? It was real sad because for me, I was watching on the internet, right? And I'm reading, and it was the day before, and everybody's like, R.I.P., R.I.P., R.I.P. And I'm like, nah, bro. Like, this hasn't been officially reported. You know what I mean? This is just the internet.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that had gone on for like 12 hours or so. Got up the next day. Still kind of going, right?
Mm-hmm.
They said that, hey, family doesn't know. They don't know what they want to do yet. But, you know, it's not looking good. Things didn't get much better. I mean, it had to been like 9:30 a.m. our time.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
Yeah.
He was gone.
Yep. And that's about the time I was preparing to, go rock out on the beach. And, like, immediately I just threw on the jams and, like, started posting on Facebook, too, because it hit everybody at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all knew it, and we started sharing. And that's the great part about it is, like, we all connected on that. You know what I'm saying? We all connected on that. People started throwing up their favorite videos.
Oh,
you know
I
what I'm
did
saying?
Immediately. I did immediately. I mean, one of mine is him and Cisco. You know what I mean?
Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Hey yo,
that was my shit.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
When I was a kid, that was my thing, man, because I was all about Cisco.
Mm-hmm.
And then X, you know what I mean? Like, you couldn't nobody not be about DMX during that time. You know what I mean? Rough Riders Anthem.
Dude, the Rough Riders, Volume 1, Volume 2, that was my shit, dog.
I mean, right?
Oh, my God. You had Drag On. You had Twista. You had all these other even, like, people. I don't even remember their names, but they just had such dope flows. And
Drag On was one of my favorites, dog.
Yeah, Drag On.
They introduced me to Drag On, bro.
And just the lifestyle that they had, right?
Oh,
the Rough Riders bikes, like in the street,
the choppers,
like
I mean,
hundreds of people. Like
it was also a one time that you saw, at least
dogs.
for me, you know, bikers and guys black. You know what I mean? Like a whole crew of like crazy biker fools doing their thing and they black.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That was crazy to me at the time because you hadn't really seen that. And then it was still that kind of early days, so it was like Rough Rider Chains.
Yep.
Eve had came on the scene.
Eve, remember
like,
Eve?
She's the lady of Rough Rider.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You had Rough Riders Anthem. I mean, we had a lot going on.
You had Big Pun on that. Yeah. Even Juvenile was fucking with them. Yep. Like, it was, everybody was on that. That was the shit.
I mean, X had a run.
Mm-hmm.
X had a run.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you couldn't go nowhere. You couldn't do nothing without some DMX. You know what I mean? I mean, he launched solo-handedly, damn near launched a career that somebody copied off of named Ja Rule. Like,
yeah.
Like, if Ja Rule wasn't the carbon-ass copy of DMX.
Ja Rule wanted to be DMX and Pac at the same time.
He did, and he couldn't figure out which one worked.
Yeah.
He couldn't figure it out. and X was still alive, so you couldn't take that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It was hard, man. That was a hard one.
It was. And then in middle school, I remember in middle school when he was dropping, he was probably a couple albums in by now, but he had his verses, his prayers.
Yeah. Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? And I just remember we would listen to these prayers and like, it was the hardest shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
because if you are a street dude or somebody who feeling that life, you know what I mean? Or you just want to feel raw in your emotions when it comes to a prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing like that.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't nothing like that. I mean, just the other day, the day that he had passed,
Mhm.
and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna put on this verses.
Yeah.
What did Snoop have him do?
Yeah.
Open it up with a prayer.
Opened it up with a prayer. I remember that.
And
It's fire.
man, I was in my feels at the moment because
For
I'm
real.
like, just got in. It's 8:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, this shit's just too crazy, and I'm listening to it.
Yeah.
And he's putting out that prayer, and I'm like, man, you talking to all of us right now
Yeah.
from heaven? That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to have it mean, have it mean so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's speaking real word. It wasn't
Yeah.
just about this, some bullshit. It was a good
Yeah.
prayer.
And he's human. You know what I'm saying?
Very.
He had a lot of demons. He had
Yep.
a lot of he was very flawed, and he was okay with that. But he
Right.
knew that he was being guided.
That's
You
right.
know what I'm saying? Like
That's right.
he had a message to spread. So
He had a message to
Yeah.
spread, and he knew that he was the one that needed to do it.
Mm-hmm.
He was the guy that needed to do it. He was the guy that was going to give us that message. He was going to give us that rawness. You know what I mean? And it just brings me back to when, back in the day, when I'm thinking of him, I'm thinking of like Tim's and like overalls and like almost
Yeah.
that like everybody wore bandanas on the head type.
yeah,
It just
or
it
just
was-
beaters. Like I always just remember
Beaters.
him just in beaters. You know what I'm
Beaters,
saying?
dude.
And a chain and some big
Yup.
ass jeans.
and
Like
some big ass jeans, and just barking up a storm.
yeah,
Yelling, you know what I mean, going at everybody. I mean, what a guy,
Mhm.
right? What a class act. What a dude. I mean, just watching the verses over again, just the way that he talks, the humbleness of him.
Mhm.
So happy to be there. He's making jokes. He's, I mean, an extremely large family man.
Oh yeah, what is it? 17 kids?
Yeah, man.
Whoa.
Like he's out there. He's got a big one.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a big one, and he's loved. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. It's crazy to see the outpour of people who came out to support after he passed.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And there was videos of them moving his body, you know what I mean, out of the hospital. And the streets were packed.
Yeah.
People were there. They were showing love. You know what I mean? It was out there. They was out there to do it.
That video that you sent me on IG, with he was in the car with was that his daughter?
Yeah, I think from what it had said, now I can't be quoted on this, but from what it had said, that was like the last video.
I've seen a few of them where like this is his last video, so I'm
Yeah.
not quite sure which
Which
one
one
is
is
which
which,
because there's
right.
one with like a prayer and then one with him and the daughter.
Exactly.
But I'm more inclined to think the one with the daughter is more like impromptu, you know, like
because
last
it seemed
video.
like something they took on their phones, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
personally, versus his last public video versus his last personal video,
Right.
which could have came from her phone.
Mhm.
But it's crazy, man. I mean, like I was looking at some stuff, and there was these like articles and all kinds of things coming out about about him now.
Mhm.
Now that he's gone, all kinds of things are coming out about
Yeah.
him. And it was kind of crazy, that article that came out that said that Jay-Z and Beyonce had bought his masters.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And like these things that are just coming out, people were making up when that's not true.
Right.
Then the family had to double down and say like that's not true.
Mm-hmm.
They're not doing that. You know what I mean? And how hard, like people on the internet, like y'all don't cut it out, okay? Just let that man live and let Jay-Z and Beyonce live.
Jay-Z and Beyonce did not do this.
They did not do this.
Okay. So that's a good some facts
Some
for
fact
everybody.
checking,
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
some fact checking. Yeah.
From the next thing that came out that said the family had said that was not factional. Now I don't know if his music was even in dispute for it to be factional, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Honestly, I think I would have liked to see something like that happen because I was trying to play DMX at work the other day on the Sonos, and all of his track list except for like a few songs were gone.
Right.
Like there was just like maybe a handful that you could actually play, and I was wondering if that had to do with something with that, but turns out it's not true, and maybe they're just pulling stuff right now. So I don't know.
I'm not sure. Let's take a quick break, and then I'm gonna tell you my DMX story.
All right.
What up, y'all? Let me tell you about another product I really like. This new thing I just found called Tappy. If you're an artist, if you're a business person, if you're anybody with anything that you want to share with people, maybe you're a designer, get this. It's a new business card. It's electronic, no paper, no thousands of cards in your pocket, just one. Anytime anybody asks, hey, what do you do, man? Pull it out, tap it on their phone. All the information's right there. Tappy. Go to our website at therealnessradiopodcast.com. Go all the way to the bottom and look at Tappy. Press get one, and you can order yours right now. Trust me, it's something you're interested in. Tappy. And we're back from the break.
Yo.
So, funny DMX story. I mean, I've probably told you this, but I'm going to tell it on the podcast so everybody can hear it. So, I got a chance to see DMX. Random as hell. No way that this should have happened. This was probably now 10 years ago.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Maybe 10 years plus. Me and my buddy Eric used to work for a club, and we used to go watch UFC at Rusty's. Everybody knows Rusty's was the spot to watch UFC at.
I do remember this story now.
Everybody was there. Everybody's there to watch the fights. So we go up there, and me and Eric's my boy. We both large men. We thick boys. We the thick team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so we in there just mashing wings. You know what I'm saying? We just putting them down. We watching the UFC. We all excited and shit. Chilling, man. The UFC's over. We're like talking with some people. I want to say even my brother was probably there. He'll let me know if he was. I don't remember though.
So it's like the end of the night crowd, like after the
so
ruckus crowd. You know
it's
what I'm
like
saying?
the ruckus just ended.
Yeah.
And now everybody's walking out the door. You know what I mean? For the UFC's over. So usually like at Rusty's, unless you're going to stay and drink, mostly everybody leaves, right? Because they're
Right.
going to go downtown.
Yep.
They're going to go get fucked up. The fight just happened. Whoever won, whoever lost, celebration.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's kind of piling out of Rusty's to go to the next spot.
Mm-hmm.
As all of us are walking out of Rusty's, in walks DMX.
Rusty's of all places, huh?
Out of all places in the world.
If you don't know Rusty's, it's on the west side. It's right there off Silver Bell. Has great food, a little upstairs joint.
Yep.
But it's funny that he says that DMX comes walking into Rusty's because it's not the place you would think.
It's not the place. It's very local.
Yeah.
Let's call it local.
Yeah.
It's got a very local vibe to it, if you will.
Oh yeah.
And so it's random, dude. That we're walking out, and then I'm like, is that fucking DMX? And homeboy's like, yeah, I think that is. And then the only thing that was a dead giveaway
Yeah.
is his voice.
Yeah.
Like, unmistakable. Still like, yo, hey, yo, man.
Yeah.
Say my man. You know, he's still got that. He's still got that rough.
That raucous,
That
rough
raucous-
rider style.
Yeah. He and some girl was like, hey, can I get a picture? And he looks at her dead in the eye and goes, no. And then kind of laughs at her and then allows her to take a picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then so we was outside for a minute while people are taking pictures. But it's like I'm halfway between us, the space
Yeah.
of just me and DMX. And I'm just like, is this fucking real? Out of all the places in Tucson you could be. I mean, there was clubs at this time and bars. You could have been downtown anywhere
Yeah.
at a Rusty's after UFC. Not even there to be like, yo, I was here to watch the UFC.
Yeah.
Like, no. After UFC.
Yeah, like
was he
like there's no hotels really right around there. Maybe off the freeway kinda, but he was like, well, where do I want to go get let me get some steak, get a steak,
He's like, I want to lick some wings.
Hey, give me a beer,
I said this. I said this is the kind of thing that people forget. DMX lives in town, so maybe somebody was talking shit to him,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, "Oh, you don't think I'll come down to Phoenix? Or from Phoenix to Tucson?
Yeah, that's right. He lived in Phoenix
He
for a
lived in
minute,
Phoenix
huh?
for a minute.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he's
I
like,
forgot about
oh,
that.
You don't think you can see me?
Yeah.
I'm fucking DMX. You don't think you can see me? Maybe he just showed up to Rusty's to meet some nigga outside who was talking shit.
X
I
gonna
don't
give
know.
it to you.
He's
He ain't gonna give it to you.
by the way, that will be the name of the episode. X gonna give it to
X
you.
gonna give it to you.
But yeah, man, like I was like, why would he be here? But he was cool as fuck. And the one thing that I really noticed is this was before he joined the Thick Boy team too.
Mm-hmm.
And he still had that, like, he was small. Like, he's not like.
Yeah, how tall was he?
It's like 5'10" or something. Like, he's shorter than us.
Like an average.
He's like an average
An
dude.
average, yeah.
And he had that swole kind of body, but like that prison swole kind of.
Yeah,
He got that
yeah.
jail body, as
Yeah.
you call it. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? So he's kind of buff, but he's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he wasn't like a tall. He wasn't like an imposing dude. But just as soon as he spoke, you're like, oh, that's him. That's him.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck you doing in Tucson? This is amazing.
That's so dope.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah,
and
it's hella
that's
dope.
the time that I met DMX. That's my DMX story.
Hell yeah, cool, man. I like that shit.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about it now, you know, after the fact, you know what I mean, of his passing. I mean, I've told this story a lot, you know, to people who have just talked to me because I like to tell stories. You know what I mean? But it's crazy to think that he's among the list of people that we never thought, like, we never thought we'd lose him.
Well,
Not
yeah,
this
well, at
early
least
in
not
life.
at 50. I mean, we all knew like he had probably some drug issues,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that, but nothing to where it was like. I guess it. So what happened? It induced a heart attack, correct?
So I didn't really
So,
read
I
detail,
don't know,
but
yeah.
I believe that is the case. That
Yeah.
whatever the amount he took put him into cardiac arrest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Which put him over. And then once he went over the hill, there was no correcting it. It was too far over.
And that's the thing too, and that's the unfortunate circumstance of it is like maybe he was. I don't know the situation, but
Right.
maybe he was cleaning up a little bit.
Exactly.
And maybe he had a little rough time and had like a
Right.
little bit of a relapse and
Right.
kind of went back to the amount that he did when it was
Before.
heavy, and it just was a little too much. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And that happens, and it's that sucks.
You know, it sucks. It really does. You know, we love DMX. The street loves DMX. You know what I mean? We're going to be bumping it for a long-ass time.
Absolutely.
For a little bit of everybody. So, you know, I'm happy that we got a little moment to talk about him and give him his due. Because, I mean, when he initially had the heart attack and went into this stuff when initially went down was right after our last podcast that me and you had
Yep.
talked. And we
Yep.
did not get a chance to mention it. So it is good that we get a chance to talk about it and kind of just, you know, give our DMX stories and opinions and our love for the man and show a
Absolutely,
little
yeah.
love to X, you know, on our podcast.
Yeah, and keep
So-
streaming that boy.
Keep streaming that, boy. So we appreciate everybody listening. As always, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share it to your friends. We appreciate everybody. And quick programming note, we're going to have a few podcasts coming out after this. This will be coming out as usual on Sunday. Then we will be having a 420 special.
Whoop whoop.
You know, Smoker's Holiday.
Smoke it up.
And then we're going to be doing versus Redman versus Method Man. I'm going to call up my buddy Lisa again, and we'll have a good conversation because this man will be a little busy on that day. And then we'll be back to our regularly scheduled program on Sunday. So, guys, stay tuned. Tune in. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Thank y'all. Peace out.